what I found most interesting was the divide between the secular and the religious Jews and the way that the Israelis talk about that divide. We met with a group of teens who we got to talk to about their religiosity and what it means to be Jewish in Israel, and I found that fascinating.
And this shows that it's not just about helping the Jewish community and those specifically in Israel that are enduring trauma, but bringing their knowledge to others around the world.
Being in this specific group and on this seminar has really enhanced the knowledge I had, and it was really good for me to listen to my colleagues' perspectives and things that I didn't consider, to incorporate that into my knowledge and to get me thinking a little bit differently. I think for me has been really impactful.
Besides from the issue of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, we're talking about social inequality in Israel, the different demographic shifts that are happening, the different subgroups of Israelis that are forming. And we're also talking about how that's affecting our own vision of ourselves as Jews in America and how that relates to our understanding of Israel and Israelis.
I've come here to see an amazing diversity in terms of the socioeconomics of Tel Aviv, the culture of Tel Aviv, and I think the idea of Jewish peoplehood is really very much defined here. The mixture of different cultures together, the religious, the non-religious living together, and the kind of vibrancy that reminds me of the States.
Part of why I found it so meaningful was just this realization that some of the issues that I deal with at my field placement in New York kind of transcend location and are everywhere. So talking about race, talking about gender, talking about oppression or access to resources. So it was really interesting to think about things that I think about back in New York, but in a very different context with a population that's both similar and different.
I felt like we really got a deeper sense of the issues and what's informing our purpose and why we're coming to do this kind of work, what's motivating us as Jews, as Americans, as Israelis, as people.
I'd like to talk a little bit about your feelings about the role of social workers in protest movements, like the protest movement that's very prominent here in Israel, the Tzedek Chavrati movement, and in Occupy Wall Street.
The way I see it, the part is basically to connect between the lower sectors and to connect it to the movement, because right now it's really hard for us to do it because basically a lot of people saying that it's only the middle class fight for the rights and all that, and it's not about everyone. And what we're trying to do is to change the policy, and it's involved basically everyone, not only middle class, high class, it's everyone.
And the role of the social worker, do you think, in this task?
I think the social worker have the tools to do this connection, to talk to those people, because we're talking to the middle class, to the lower class. Actually, we work in talking to people. We have the tool to do it. This is our job. And it's the most natural thing, I think, for us to do is to use the tool that we have, use the knowledge that we have, the experience that we have, to do all that. And to be a role model for our clients to fight for their rights. This is what we're trying to teach them to do for themselves.
Use of empowerment and advocacy skills?
Yeah, if we want to do it for ourselves and not set an example for them, how to empower themselves and stand up for themselves. It's like empty words, like we're just talking and not really believing in it.